ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
A horrific crash in downtown San Diego leaves 3 people dead.
It was a nightmare, like a really quick nightmare.
What the investigation has revealed about the driver.
Plus, millions of Californians with high-risk conditions are now eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. What the state and county will require of them to make an appointment.
And in a story that is positively San Diego, we look at how a local teenager's bar mitzvah project has grown into a community effort to save a piece of land overgrown by weeds.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
Our crews, we train for this. We practice this during training sessions, but there's just no way to prepare for something that is this devastating.
A quiet morning in downtown San Diego erupted in sudden violence after a car jumped the sidewalk and slammed into a group of people. 3 of them were killed. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. That crash happened this morning in a tunnel on B Street near San Diego City College. And we have team coverage on this horrific crash. Let's begin with our ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner live at the scene with the latest on the investigation tonight. Jen.
Yes, Steve, police identified the driver this afternoon as 71-year-old Craig Voss. He is facing multiple charges at this time. The crash happened just behind us around 9 a.m. here underneath the San Diego City College Bridge. It just reopened about 30 minutes ago. A warning to viewers tonight, some of this video and some of the details are disturbing. A horrendous mass casualty crash downtown by the San Diego City College on this rainy Monday morning. Several victims were being treated onto gurneys. One victim with a leg injury clearly in shock.
Not only is this a very emotional call for all of the first responders and police officers there to arrive, but a very chaotic one.
According to San Diego police, the driver, identified as 71-year-old Craig Voss, reportedly ran his car up onto the sidewalk, striking several people who were there with tents and other belongings. The Volvo was still on scene with extensive front-end damage. SDPD says Voss stopped to help the victims, but 3 people were pronounced dead on scene. Another 5 were transported to area hospitals, 2 of them in critical condition. At Monday afternoon's press conference, Police Chief David Nislight told reporters that Voss is suspected of DUI and is in custody.
He is a resident of the city of San Diego, and he is under arrest for 3 counts of vehicular manslaughter, 5 counts of causing great bodily injury while committing a felony, and 1 count of felony DUI.
A full criminal investigation is now underway. And we're hearing that a vigil is being planned for 6 p.m. tonight. You can see a few candles have already been laid out for some of the victims. We are expecting several more people to come out here within the next hour. Reporting live from downtown, Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
Jen, thank you. And we know there were at least 9 victims in this crash. 3 of them have died. Our ABC 10 News reporter Leah Pizzetti joins us now from UC San Diego Health in Hillcrest with more on the victims and the survivors of this crash.
Steve, homeless advocates say the tunnel where this crash happened is a place where many homeless people seek shelter, especially on rainy days like today. Now, some of the victims were taken here to UC San Diego Health in Hillcrest. Advocates say it's those victims plus those 3 people who died who show change needs to happen.
This man says he was walking through the tunnel when a car drove onto the sidewalk and started hitting people.
I saw him doing CPR and stuff, and that kind of scared me a little bit. You know? But it was a nightmare, like a really quick nightmare.
Williams says he knows a few of the people hurt. In total, 4 people were taken to San Diego hospitals, including 2 to UC San Diego Health in Hillcrest and 1 to Scripps Mercy San Diego.
I was just more concerned with really people than I was with what had already happened.
Homeless advocate Michael McConnell says he arrived after the crash and started talking to survivors, people he meets with regularly. One older man told Michael it happened fast.
It just happened so quick. It just happened so quick, and he was just very distraught, as we all are.
McConnell wants to remind the community to have respect for those killed and not dismiss them just because they were living on the streets.
They're somebody's brother, somebody's sister, somebody's friend, somebody's daughter, son, grandfather, grandmother, mother, and daughter, just like all of us are. We all bleed red.
He's encouraging leaders to take more active steps in helping get people off the streets so this doesn't happen again, and encouraging the community to do their part as well.
But if you know or see people out here, even a smile or just asking folks if they need anything would help and go a long way. We can all be part of this.
Now, I did speak to multiple advocates for the homeless community today, and everybody had a very similar message. This is a somber reminder that something needs to happen. There needs to be ways to help get these people permanently off the streets. Mayor Todd Gloria did address this today, and he said he knows that change needs to happen, and he is going to advocate for the homeless community. Reporting live from Hillcrest, Leah Pizzetti, ABC 10 News.
Leah, thank you. You can keep track of the latest developments on this story with the ABC 10 News app. You can find it for free in the App Store.
The Petco Park Vaccination Superstation is closing for good this Saturday. The site has administered more than 200,000 COVID-19 vaccine shots. UC San Diego, which runs the site, says it hopes to get every San Diegan waiting for a second dose their shot by the end of the week. Anyone who still has an appointment at the location will receive a message through MyChart. The health system is using those who don't have their second dose appointment, urging those rather that don't have their second dose appointment to schedule one. An estimated 4.4 million Californians with health conditions became eligible to sign up for a COVID-19 vaccine today. As ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Okala explains, San Diego's list of qualifying conditions currently expands beyond the states.
COVID-19 vaccine eligibility has now expanded to millions of Californians ages 16 to 64 with specific high-risk medical conditions or disabilities. Myron Sayanko, the clinic manager at Sharp South Bay Vaccination Superstation, says although many more San Diegans are now eligible, vaccine supply is still very limited.
So we're asking folks to remain patient.
The state expects the supply to increase throughout the spring, meaning more appointments will become available. The California Department of Public Health lists a number of qualifying conditions ranging from cancer to Down syndrome, sickle cell disease, and type 2 diabetes. But San Diego County's list expands beyond that, including those with moderate to severe asthma, hypertension, liver disease, and people who are overweight with a BMI more than 25. The state also says people can qualify if it's determined that a COVID-19 infection is likely to result in severe life-threatening illness or death. Lauren Gillihan, who has lupus compromising her immune system, was finally able to book an appointment for herself and for her husband, who has type 2 diabetes.
I jumped on first thing in the morning because we're eligible today.
The state says to protect confidentiality, people won't need to provide documentation proving they're eligible. Instead, they'll be asked to sign a self-attestation. But a San Diego County spokesperson says here, they'll only be asked to do this verbally.
We are asking folks to verbally attest that they have one of those high-risk comorbidities.
Still, Lauren doesn't want to take any chances now that she's so close to getting vaccinated.
We got our doctor's letter here. I got the letter just in case.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
Today, public transit and airport employees, as well as those who live or work in high-risk settings, such as jails and homeless shelters, also became eligible to get vaccinated. The vaccine superstation at the Del Mar Fairgrounds will close again this week. The site just reopened today after closing over the weekend. Scripps, which runs the site, says it again received fewer doses than expected. The site will close on Wednesday, then again on Friday and Saturday. Anyone with appointments on those days will be rescheduled.
All right, you probably saw it out there. It was another rainy day in San Diego County with conditions leading to several crashes on our freeways. And be careful at the coast, too. There's a high surf advisory in place until tomorrow. Our ABC 10 News reporter Nate Holmes joins us live with more on today's rain and the havoc it caused for a lot of people. Nate.
Well, it was definitely a wet start to our week. Some areas dried out, others not so much. Still seeing some red roads across the county. And it is a bit breezy if you were to take a step outside, where we have a wind advisory in effect until tomorrow morning. But around the county, we received a nice amount of rain as we wrap up the final week of winter.
A beautiful yet cloudy sunrise Monday morning. This is a look from one of our 10 News weather watchers in Ocean Beach. But just a few hours later, the clouds grew darker, bringing in the wet weather. A saturated camera gives us a look at Pacific Beach. A similar look in Del Mar as the waves hit our coastline. Showers poured down in Carmel Valley, the rain dumping on this backyard patio. In the downtown area, restaurants had to take a rain check on outdoor dining, tables and chairs saturated from the wet weather. But it wasn't always a peaceful sight. The rain likely the cause of multiple crashes around the county. On Interstate 5 North, just north of Claremont Drive, a 3-car crash. Luckily, no one was hurt. A different story on I-5 North at Old Town, a female driver receiving minor injuries after crashing into the center divide. The impact sending the car across the northbound lanes, rolling down an embankment. Employees from a restaurant nearby ran to help the woman out of the car. Caltrans sending out this message to drivers in Mission Valley, reminding them if their wipers are on, the lights should be on too.
It was a winter wonderland also in our mountain areas this past weekend, and we are expecting more rains in our mountains coming up at 6. We'll have more of what you can expect if you decide to head up to the mountains. Nate Holmes, ABC 10 News.
Our coverage continues with ABC 10 News meteorologist Angelica Campos tracking when this system will move out of the county. Angelica.
Hi, Lindsay. Well, before the system moves out, we're going to be dealing with a lot of wind. It's very windy out across the county from the mountains all the way to the deserts. We are expecting damaging winds tonight, and most likely this will continue into the overnight hours. So the winds right now averaging at 45 miles per hour in Boulevard. Some of the strongest wind reports averaging 69 miles per hour in Mount Laguna so far today. Rain now changing over to snow in our mountains. We are expecting snow accumulations in areas like Mount Laguna, Palomar Mountain, maybe even Julian. Snow levels could be down to about 3,500 feet with up to an inch of snow right around 4,000 feet. You can see most of the moisture happens to be targeting the Mount Laguna area in the North County, just a few spotty showers. If it does move through the county, it is going to be very light in nature. So we've gone through the bulk of the rain, but the winds are not done yet. We have many different advisories and warnings in effect. I'll show you what to expect overnight.